It's countdown to a new month, and this month means that we're getting into the second half of the year 2025. I don't know how that makes me feel, but overall feeling is that I'm quite excited that we are going to be having a new month. There's always this feeling, this very beautiful feeling that comes with having to visit or having to be in the new month, and that is what I'm expecting so badly. Aside all of the rancor going on in life and in different parts of the world, I hope you're good. I hope you're happy. I hope you're getting entertained. Well, if you're not getting entertained, that's why we are here to keep up with all the entertainment, especially those going on social media. Welcome once again to Entertainment Now. My name is Vera Philip. We get straight to some gossip this afternoon because what is this show without some gossip? Let's gossip about Jude Igalo and his wife, ex-wife Sonia Igalo. So of course, Jude is one who will always make the news for one reason or the other. I think a few months ago he had made it on social media with a podcaster who had visited him in Saudi Arabia, and then they went out, had a good time, and then the lady posted herself in his Rolls Royce. So he had to come on social media and put it there that he was only helping her settle in when she came to town and whatnot and whatnot. And the girl felt embarrassed, had to put it on social media, say, "Oh, I'm apologizing," and plenty talk. And that passed, and I think that Sonia had a lot to say in that, a season and time. Afterwards, now there's a rumor that was taken off by a blog that they said that Judy Gallo, had had a sexual relationship with someone and obviously didn't pay the person. It was meant to be a business transaction. However, he didn't pay the person. But these are rumors, right? I mean, he's a celebrity, he's a footballer. There's going to be a lot of gist here and there, rumor here and there about him. No concrete evidence. However, this was flying around on social media. And Sonia, his ex-wife, who replies and comments on everything that happens in Igalo's life on social media, made comments, reacted to it on social media. And so she says, "I separated since 2019, divorced 2022. You can't read these things about me online. I carry myself so well and have a lot of respect for my gorgeous children." She added a whole lot more. In short, in all of this call out, she was trying to call Judy Gallo a bad example to the children, because why is it going to be getting involved in all the sexual escapades on social media and causing their children embarrassment, according to Sonia Igalo. But again, these are rumors that are not confirmed truth. So I don't understand why Sonia is going to go and drag this man, Jude Igalo. However, I do know one thing, that this woman might still be in love with Jude Igalo. Jude, are you ready to take this wife back, or you're not ready? Let's know what's going on. But anyways, I don't think that the stories about Jude Igalo is true. Not even that my opinion matters. But at the end of the day, whether it's true or not, I mean, he's still the father of your kids, so you have some sort of relationship with him. You could probably just have said all of this to him via the phone or through an email, through your lawyers. But on social media, I don't think we all needed that validation. But I mean, who am I again to tell a grown woman how to act? Away from Sonia and Jude Igalo, another drama that is happening in marriage is that of actor Daniel Ademinokan and ex-wife Stella Damascus. Now, this one is another drama that we didn't see coming. Why? Because Stella Damascus has been very vocal about the ending of her marriage in 2022. However, Daniel has not said anything about the marriage. Now, remember that Daniel had left Doris Simon to go marry Stella Damascus. Now, when that marriage was happening, a lot of people were like, "Ooh, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Why is Stella doing this to Doris?" Well, it's a whole lot of conversation. However, you know how people are. If you're happy, do you? Now, Stella Damascus and Daniel Adiminokan were married for a while, and unfortunately, it ended. Stella had said that she knew about her divorce on social media. One of the interviews that she granted, after the separation, she said that she knew about her divorce on social media, like every other person who heard about it, that she had never heard about her own divorce until that time. Now, this was so many years ago, and maybe, just maybe, Stella Damascus has still been having this around and, telling in as much interviews as possible that this is what occurred. Now, it looks like actor Daniel Ademinokan is tired of listening or having one side narrative being spread out on social media. So he decided to make a post of it and address the situation. He also accused Stella Damascus of being abusive, physically abusive to his son. This son is Doris Simon's son, by the way. He says that she was so abusive towards the son that the boy had to wear makeup to go to school, to cover the scars just to go to school, which is sad. However, again, it is his words, not like they are facts proven. But he rolled out a lot of things, brought in an evidence of a mail where Stella Damascus herself had sent a message to him, telling him about how the divorce, she has thought about the divorce and she really does want a divorce. Her lawyers were going to get to him, concerning the divorce. So he says that she coming on social media to say that, oh, I only knew about the divorce just like the rest of you is a lie. That it is twisting of facts. He had a lot of things to say. You could see in all of those posts that was made on social media. Dear Queen Mother, 5 years since the separation, three since the divorce, still you just can't let go. I've said nothing, I've seen nothing, I've done nothing since 2020, but somehow I'm still living rent free in your narrative. Let me be clear, silence is not guilt, distance is not weakness, but lies, especially ones I have receipts for, that's a different story. I've watched you tweet facts rather, with confidence, assuming no one's paying attention. But now that you've mistaken grace for guilt, I will ask you to choose your next story wisely because I came with footages. So that's footnotes, yeah, with notes. And then he made this, beautiful those are actually beautiful anyways, but this meal, yeah, he rolled it out with the meal, rolled it out with the numerous meals that he placed here as evidence. And it's sad because, again, I'm always saying that this marriage ended in 2022 on common grounds, as a matter of fact. Why bring out the story after so many years when the both parties have allegedly moved on? Allegedly, because I don't know if you people have really moved on. Do you understand? Like, are you guys moving on? If you're moving on, it's very unhealthy to be revisiting your past, especially in a situation. There was time that I feel actor Daniel would have made this comment when it was immediately said, but being quiet and then bringing it out on social media all of a sudden from nowhere, it's raising some eyebrows. However, again, these are family issues, and sometimes we need to be careful about how we get ourselves involved with the family issues. Yes, they bring it on social media, maybe that's because of frustration, but we do know that family relationships are one that we should, putting our full weight into. Therefore, we're just going to look at this one with grace and say, Lord, take control in this family. And talking about marriages that have crashed yet again, Frank Edogo has actually revealed that his second marriage is over. Now, he was in a podcast with Temason, and he had a lot of revelations to make. And for someone who is a media personality and very tricky in his answerings as well, I felt like he was very open to having a conversation with Temason. And it's beautiful because we got to see and know a vulnerable side to Frank Edogo. He had mentioned that maybe the marriage thing is not for him. He has tried it the first time, tried it the second time, and the marriage did end. Who would have thought? Let's take a look at the video.
Not to be too, No, let's just say I experienced dark times in my
You went through a
personal life.
divorce, right?
You said what?
You went through a divorce?
Yeah, first divorce.
First.
I've been married twice. First marriage to a broadcaster, Catherine, very great
The
broadcaster.
actress as well.
Yeah. She
was
started
in-
acting.
she
She
was
was
in-
in Housewives of
Oh, she's
Lagos.
brilliant.
Everybody loved her. And you know what?
She's phenomenal.
I admit that I was wrong because when she wanted to go into acting, before we separated, I said, what kind of rubbish? You are a great broadcaster and everything. But when she did it, so we watched the show with my second wife.
Mm-hmm.
We sat down and watched the show, and I was, oh, okay. She's a great. I said, wow,
Just tell me
I
about
was
the
wrong.
dynamic. Watching your first wife, were they friends?
No, well, not that they were enemies.
Right.
Yeah, and everything. So let me give you a tip. So I think for my second marriage, which I put a lot into, and we put a lot into each other and everything. Um, I the crisis I was talking about was based on that.
Right.
The second one.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
Can I? Okay, you might not really go into
Okay.
details, right? But I've realized that men also, when they go through divorce, it's not the woman who suffers the most. It's men who also feel like they failed. And
Thank
this
you.
was your second marriage failing.
Second marriage, yeah. And
Did it-
everybody would say the common denominator is you. That means you are the
Yes.
problem.
So did it affect your identity? Do you think the parts of you that you needed to
Yeah, I think.
engage?
See, the thing is this: if you love someone so much, then it doesn't work out. So what you're gonna do? What are you gonna do? Why do I ask myself? Why do I hurt so much? Oh, I love them so much. I poured everything into them. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a saint,
Right.
but especially if I think that the thing that happened, it wasn't supposed to happen because it was their fault, not mine. But I'm not saying I'm a saint. But the thing is, because you love them so much, you start basing your happiness on them. That's why I say, you see, when you get married, people cannot blame you for marrying wrongly, because at the beginning it's fireworks.
Right.
And you have to prepare, both of you, psychologically, have to prepare for this thing.
So there's a narrative that people who are widely exposed, people who are rich, in knowledge, are people who cannot keep marriages because they cannot play a fool. Sometimes when we see so much, divorce that goes round, both in Nigeria and out of Nigeria, but basically people who have so much exposure, it makes that narrative almost true. But we know that that narrative is really wrong, but it makes it look like the narrative is true. Having Frank Edwards sit and talk about, marriage with so much intelligence, yet he says his own marriage failed. It's like, how do you have so much knowledge, but you are unable to be in the space where you can manage situations and they do not escalate, or they do not, get so raptured in such a way that you can't fix it any longer? And this whole divorce situation are things that have happened, or are things that have become almost a norm because of how the world have evolved with technology and moving forward. And it looks like divorce is now the main proper of the day. If your marriage is not working out, walk out. Do we really make an effort to try to fix in our marriages? And this is even about Frank Edogo and the rest of the people we've talked about their marriages. This is actually about young people and the orientation that we are getting from all of this information, because these are people who are way older and, as I earlier said, have vast knowledge. So if people who have had vast knowledge, if people who, we consider a certain role model to some people, a certain role model, cannot have a marriage that is long lasting, what about those young people who are taking tutors from them? But the truth is, marriage is one thing that takes two understanding people to work out together. As much as we've had marriages that have failed, we will also have to look at marriages that have worked out. We have a lot of other marriages that have worked out, and I'm not going to be the name mentioning. However, when you see one person, one marriage, one icon, one idol that you have had whose their marriage is not working, and you're one believer in marriage, move it. There is another marriage somewhere that is working. I do not even see why we need to even have role models or idols when it comes to marriage or when it comes to life. But then if you do believe in them, move it. If you have your idea of marriage, it has scattered in somebody's relationship or marriage, move to another person. There are still people who are happily married, and they have beautiful memories and stories to actually share. One person is Chewata Luago. Even at his old age, you see Chewata Luago and his beautiful wife on social media. What happens behind the scene, we have no proper idea. But we see what we have in front of our screen is beautiful, is lovable. And you imagine that kind of situation for yourself and just claim it. It just come to pass for you. Away from all the sad marriage stories, just take into entertainment, please, and let's cut off all of this. Rema really did a great performance at the Accor Arena France Nelama concert. He filled up a 20,000 capacity Accor arena. The hitmaker did treat his fans to a rendition of the smash hit records that have elevated him to the superstar that he is since 2019. At the concert, he at the concert rather he performed with alongside sensational stars like Odumodu Black. You know, he had to collaborate with Odumodu Black to give us a song War Machine. He also brought out rapper Shaggy Poppy, who in turn brought out his brother Zeri DL to perform Benin Boys. As with the practice of his ongoing tour, Rema performed with a wax figure of global stars. So he made a wax figure of Wizkid, of Davido, and Burna Boy to represent the big three, and him being the big four. They are classified as the big three, so he came in and made himself the big four in that performance. This communicates Rema's desire to, of course, be recognized as one of the Afrobeat's biggest stars. Sentiment he shared with other people and also brought that wax images. Let's take a look at some of the iconic and some of the highlights of his performance at the concert.
Even when people didn't believe in the sound, even when people thought it was too weird, when they thought I switched up, they said I stole my soul. Shit, crazy, but thank you so much for still sticking with me. Thank you so much for believing in my crazy ideas. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Rema is such a great performer. We aren't taking that away from him. And before this Echo Arena concert, he had already performed at the O2 Arena and Madison Square Garden, where he joined Davido, joined Whiskey, joined Bono Boy, and even Ashake as Nigerian stars to have headlined the iconic venue. Really beautiful, Rema. Well done, well done. We are proud of you. How more can we say that we are proud of you? We are definitely proud of you. And now to a sad story. We have lost one of the um, pillars of Nollywood. I mean, game changers in Nollywood at the moment. Producer and actor Coyote Peters is dead. Now, Coyote Peters is one person that was respected by a lot of Nollywood actors and actresses because of his, involvement and all that he had to give in the industry. Unfortunately, the news of his death broke out over the weekend and it has left the industry in such sadness. We really sympathize with the family for this loss, and we really do hope that the family is going to be able to deal with this loss. He died at the age of 43, and family and friends, especially colleagues of his, had joined to share stuffs on social media, share their disappointment and heartache on social media to the announcement of his death. And that's all the stories we can bring to you. But before we go, it's Monday. So excuse me, we're going to serve you some Monday movies. The first movie that we have for you today is Squid Game 3. And then I'll let you enjoy the trailer of Squid Game. We'll come back to tell you more about it. Don't go anywhere. Unfortunately, the video of that movie, the trailer of that movie, is making its own way. It doesn't want to come out. However, Squid Game 3 is a movie that is the third and final season of South Korean survival thriller television series, Squid Game. It was released to Netflix on the 27th of June 2025. The movie is created for television by South Korean writer and television provider Hang Dong-hyuk. It's an amazing movie that already has season 1 to season 2, and now season 3 is about to begin rather. Season 3, obviously starting off where season 2 had ended, which is where players fight for survival in every deadly games. It also brings rebellion in the house. Season 2 ended with the successful rebellion where Kang Yo-ho non-fatally shoots player 246, who is Young-sik, under the pretense of cooperating with the organ traffickers in exchange for access to their operating room. And that is the detail of that movie. And if you've seen Squid Game 1 and 2, there's definitely that excitement to complete the series and see season 3. All right, thank you so much for being a part of Entertainment Now. It's really been amazing having to be here and feeding you with all of these entertainment stories. We will be back tomorrow for another beautiful edition. But until then, make do enjoy your Monday as it comes to you. My name is Vera Philip. You can follow me on social media. On Facebook is Vera Philip. On Instagram, Vera Philip _MGZ. For Spectrum Television on all our social media platforms that will be displayed right on your screen. So for now, bye.